Aloha, everyone. This is Tamara McKay with Redtime Stories. I'm your host, and we're here to share stories and talk about things that have to do with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness while protecting our First Amendment rights, and to discuss concerns that affect our local communities, locally here in Hawaii and across the country. Welcome to episode 14, where we have the opportunity to talk to Jamie Detwiler, who is the president of the Hawaii Federation of Republican Women. And also joining us is later in the show is Teri Savaiieanea, and she's the vice chair of the Hawaii Republican Party, to join us and tell us some updates and how our affiliations, auxiliaries, and coalitions are getting along with the current changes in the party. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Last week we had Tina Leah from HawaiiUnites.org, and she shared a lot of great information on the GMO mosquito situation. You can find that replay of the episode on our YouTube channel at Redtime Stories or on the Liberty or Rise Media platform on Rumble. So anyways, without further ado, I think it's time that we talk story with our guest, Jamie Detwiler, and I'm going to bring her right on. Aloha, Jamie. Thank you for joining us.
Aloha, Tamara. So good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you can join us, and I'm looking forward to Teri joining us pretty soon, and it's kind of going to be like this little girl chat. And look at, we're wearing matching jackets, and I didn't even call you ahead of time either. So anyways,
well, I figure it's Redtime Stories, right? It's Redtime Stories.
That's right. Thanks. So why don't you tell everybody, I know that we have several people who are tuning in that do know you, but there are some people who don't know you. So maybe tell a little bit about yourself and the Hawaii Women's Federation. Holy moly, I always get that backwards. But fill us in on the group.
So the Hawaii Federation of Republican Women is a statewide organization. Currently, we have clubs on Oahu and Maui, but we have club members from all of the islands that have joined one of our existing clubs, and we're hoping to expand in the future. Since becoming president in January, we've welcomed several new members, and we're excited. I'd like to think of our organization as one of action. We're women of action. And just to give you the framework of our mission and our platform here in Hawaii, we are part of a national organization, and we're getting ready for our national convention to be held this fall in Oklahoma City. But for here in Hawaii, we are advocates of the Constitution of the United States, ensuring America's sovereignty, limited government, fiscal responsibility, the right to life from conception to natural end of life, private property rights, equality before the law, a strong and well-armed military, and respect for our veterans. And within that framework, what I said earlier about action is, several of us are active at the state legislature. And I have some very great mentors in our organization. One of them was one of the founding members of the Hawaii chapter of the National Federation. That's Mary Smart. I've learned so much from her and Rita Kamakimura about what it takes to present a solid testimony during hearings at the legislature. As you know, it's been a battle, quite a battle against our liberty and freedom, right? And I love the opening of your opening statement of the program. We're here about our liberty and freedom. And there are so many ways to be involved. And if you don't feel comfortable testifying, perhaps just submitting a written testimony, which is also very strong. And also there's other ways to get involved. Help somebody on their political campaign team. There's many ways. Participate in nonprofit organizations that support, the sanctity of life. We have several members involved in volunteering in organizations on their respective islands, upholding the sanctity of life. So yeah, we're all about action, action, action.
Right. And so you did mention, do you have anybody who's interested like on the neighbor islands like Kauai, or you mentioned one person. Now, was that Kauai or was that the Big Island?
We have a couple members that live on the Big Island, but are members of one of our clubs, either in Maui or Oahu. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to live on, you don't have to live on Oahu to be part of one of the three clubs that we have here on Oahu. And really the clubs really, they have their own presidents, and they determine what activities that are best suited for their communities. For example, so I have a member in Maui, that's your island, who's very passionate about preserving the wetlands. You probably
Mm-hmm.
know more about that than I do, but it's something that is very treasured by the Native Hawaiian population there and many other cultures on Maui. And so, when she shared that with me, I encouraged her to get involved with testimony at the Maui County Council whenever bills come up that really come against preserving something as our natural resources. So whatever your passion is, get together. One of the things that I'm excited about this coming, this 2024 legislative season is being proactive. So being on the offense instead of the defense. So we're typically on the defense on some of these bills that are really offensive to our liberty and freedom. And that's what you typically see, testimony in favor of or in opposition of. And I'm also a volunteer with the Audit the Vote Hawaii organization. And so we're really putting our heads together this summer, using this off time from the legislative season to actually write bills and submit them to our Republican representatives to see if we can be proactive with some of the legislation instead of being on the defense all the time.
Mm-hmm. I know that your focus mostly in on the Oahu group, Rita is extremely proactive in getting those the legislative items out there, which is
Yes.
really helpful because I know that one of the issues with a lot of the citizens on all spectrums of the aisles, they don't even know where to go and what legislative bills to testify to. And even though there's, we have our two parties, there's a lot of people who vote Democrat, but they have conservative values.
Yes.
And to get out there and to encourage them to also testify across the aisle on the same beliefs that we have. Do you guys have any way that the public has more access to learn how to write testimonies for legislation?
That's a great question. So the state capitol themselves has a great resource. Um, Gosh, I wish Rita was here. It's escaping
Call
me
her, she
right
can
now,
join us.
but it uh, it's the see how I am. I'm rusty off season, but it's a
That's okay.
resource center at the legislature. It's free. I call them the librarians of the legislature. They are
Hmm.
nonpartisan. They actually have some great videos that are on YouTube, and I'm going to get that reference for you in a minute. But they have YouTube videos on how to compile your testimony, how to write it succinctly. I usually try to keep my testimony to one page, no more than 2 pages. And of course, if you're giving an oral testimony to accompany that, typically you have a 2-minute limit. So you really want to, be precise and effective. It's called the public access room. Thank you, Rita and Kareen. I
Right.
know it was at the tip of my
Thanks,
tongue.
Rita.
See,
Yeah.
I've been away for 2 months, so I'm a
Hmm.
little rusty. But yes, the public access room is an excellent resource, and you can find them on the Hawaii State Capitol website. But I've actually been there in person, and every single person there has been extremely helpful. One of the examples that sticks out in my mind is let's say you're getting ready to testify on a bill, and perhaps it affected you in a personal way. And so to kind of add that personal story, one which was regarding an election integrity bill, where I ran for office last year for state rep. And after the election, I sent a letter, certified mail, to request an audit of my district's election. And to this day, I have not gotten any response, not a phone call,
really?
not a letter, And so when I inserted that into my oral testimony, the chair of the committee, who was a Democrat, he asked a simple question to the chief elections officer, Mr. Nago, why is it that your office is not responding to, one of our citizens, our taxpayers, and somebody who ran for office? Why, even if it's a negative response, I'm sorry, we can't provide that information to you. I never got a response from them. And that was in November. That was November 14th, 2022. Have not gotten a response from them. So, stay vigilant. Don't be discouraged. I tell people, even though the bills we're testifying against, pass, most times we have had a win in the election, one of the election integrity bills, where it ended in a tie. Therefore, that bill died right there. Right.
Which bill
that
was
hearing.
that? Which bill was that? So
that's
people
really
know.
Testing my memory, but maybe Rita will chime in on that one, or Kareen. But that one was significant. But we haven't let our guard down, because we know it's going to come up again. And I think one of the biggest things with regards to election integrity is just general awareness. And I would venture to say that probably less than 5% of the population in the state of Hawaii are really aware that there are problems, with our election system. And I took part in a door-to-door canvassing prior to the election. And, this information is public information in terms of how many registered voters in each household, right? And how many people in that household actually voted. And we found a lot of discrepancies in our small sample size. We did a neighborhood on the windward side, and we found that, for example, an elderly couple, they had, I believe, 4 people registered to vote in their household. They verified that when we spoke to them at their door. And the other 2 voters were their adult daughters who went to college on the mainland, stayed on the mainland, have their careers on the mainland. They haven't voted in Hawaii in like over 5-10 years, and they're still on our voter rolls. We do not have clean voter rolls. And that should concern every citizen in Hawaii. The voter rolls are critical, and we do have people that analyze the voter rolls. The only thing with that is it's quite costly to obtain the voter rolls. I'm sure you may have done that yourself. So county to county, it varies. Our county on Oahu is $750 one pop. And if you request the state voter rolls, it's $1,000. And to get a proper analysis, they pull the voter rolls every month. And so if you're interested in that area, if perhaps you're not one that would testify, but feel led to donate just a few dollars, it's auditthevotehawaii.com. There's a place to help us out and help our data analyzers get that going. And everybody, a lot of states, a lot of blue states across the nation, they push that mail-in voting. And you and I know, Tamara, there's a lot of flaws in that, right? There's no chain of custody. Our official observers that signed up and were trained to be official election observers were not allowed to see the process, for example, at the U.S. Post Office. Where does it go when somebody drops off their ballot? In their mailbox or at the post office? What happens to the ballot? And so there are major chain of custody issues. I sat at the ballot box during the primary election right here in Mililani Mauka, and I stayed there till about 8:30, 8:45 at night. And I had to come home. So at 8:45, the ballots were still not picked up. But at 8 o'clock, Josh Green was already saying, thank you very much. He won the Democrat nomination. So, it just makes no sense to us, the people that volunteer with Audit the Vote Hawaii and election integrity.
Right. Well, there and so other groups, they focus on election integrity. You've got your hands in a few different pots. Now, with people, what is great about what I feel is great about the Women's Federation is it does give women an opportunity that don't necessarily want to be involved directly with the Republican Party. And that can get a little bit crazy, as we're finding out recently. But I've got a lot of feedback of people appreciating the fact that there's another avenue. And for those who maybe are watching on or will be watching the replay on Kauai and Big Island, and they're interested in joining, is it hard? What can they do to connect and maybe start their own chapter over there?
Right. So they can contact me at 808-476-1002, or they can go to the Hawaii Federation of Republican Women, and the website is hfrw.online. Online is one word. And there are links to joining the Federation. They can also email me, JAMIED, like Detwiler, 1025 @gmail.com. We'd be happy to help them get their club started. You just need a minimum of 10 members. The annual dues are $35. And that also gives you access to the National Federation of Republican Women. They send out a monthly newsletter, very informative. They're very active at the legislative level as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many opportunities to serve. As I said, if you don't feel comfortable testifying, we'll find a place where something that interests you. We're having our annual luncheon coming up in November, and our website is under construction. So we're actually looking for somebody to help us with that, to update our website. It does function. The membership button does function. So, but if they have any issues, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to assist with that.
Awesome. Yeah, it would be great to see it expand. Now, the Women's Federation, men can also join, isn't that correct?
Yes, they can be associate members. And Mary, correct me if I'm wrong. I think their dues are $20. Ours are $35, and I think theirs is $20. So yes, and many of the spouses of our women, in the membership, they join and have been very helpful and supportive as associate members.
What do we have them do in the organization?
Well, wherever they can help, promote their organization. Many of them, help at events. If we have an information table, they just come along and help us set that table up. And, we're hoping to get out into the community much more, just to raise awareness. That's what I love about the Federation is, we engage with the community. We meet people where they're at. They're coming to us inquiring about, what can I do? I don't, have a lot to offer, but everybody has something, and
Absolutely.
we appreciate prayer and just, wherever we can help, because 2024, as you know, is right around the corner. So we all need to, as our friend Teri says, lock arms and work together. Right. We have the presidential primary caucus coming up in Hawaii. It will be in March 2024. And I've let the chair of our party, as well as, the county, I've let them know that HFRW stands ready to provide boots on the ground assistance wherever we can. We're a small organization, but we can do it so I just got the update from Mary Smart. She's our secretary and lifelong member for the
Hi, Mary.
Federation. She said the associate member is $35. I was wrong, so sorry about that, Mary. But thank you
Oh,
for the
they almost got
correction.
a discount. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, their membership is $35. So sorry about that.
Awesome.
Still learning.
Um,
I'm humbled, but still learning. So I have a great team. Mary is the secretary,
mhm.
and Signe Godfrey
Read,
is the treasurer. Rita
right.
is our legislative representative, and Mary is also our military representative. So,
Mhm.
there are committee positions, not all of them are filled right now. We also have the opportunity for a chaplain in the organization, and we don't have one yet. So if anybody's
Oh,
interested, you can reach out to us, and our email address is on there as well.
does your
hfrwonline@gmail.
are you open to male chaplain? Or are you preferring that it be a woman chaplain?
I don't I think either's okay. They have to become a member, so they can be an
Hmm.
associate member or a member, and we're open to male or female chaplain. Somebody that just can provide that spiritual support and encouragement that many of us,
Hmm.
look for, especially during, campaign season. It gets quite busy, and, we're all spread apart. And I'm so proud of our membership where we have a good number of our members. We are 65 members, and I believe, Tamara, and you included, there were 5 of us who ran for office, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. That's a
Hmm.
really good percentage for a small organization. And
Absolutely.
I really, really want to support women, encourage them, and our associate members as well, to really join together and lock arms as we move into this next season. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be bumpy, but it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. So, if anybody doesn't know, Jamie was elected past November, and it's a lot to learn and transition and get to learn. So, what are some of the things that you have accomplished, or that the club has accomplished since you have been in the presidency?
And I don't know if it's not, definitely not me accomplishing it. It's a team effort, and like I said, I have 2 excellent mentors, Mary Smart and Rita Kamakimura, who really encouraged me to step up and run. I wasn't thinking about this. I'll be honest, and Mary knows this. And we were still both running our campaigns. Mary ran for office as well. We were both
Hmm.
busy. But I'm just so thankful that they had that confidence in me to do this job. And really, it's about serving the community. And in terms of accomplishments, I think uh, we as a federation we've gained recognition, and I believe respect at the legislature. And it's really interesting. I never saw this coming, but when you sign up for testimony, it asks if you belong to an organization. And of course, I fill that in with Hawaii Federation of Republican Women, and I'm the president. So, we've gotten on the map. The word Republican doesn't get uttered often at our state legislature. So it's been nice to gain that recognition, not for myself, but for us as a whole. The conservatives in our community need a voice. And I try to be that voice where I can, testifying on multiple issues, education, health freedom, Second Amendment, you name it, life, pro-life. That one was very, very emotional for me. The room was jam-packed, standing room only. And that was very much an experience. It's hard to describe, but I always meet fellow conservatives, fellow believers, and so it's been refreshing in that sense, but also a learning experience. We've also gained new members this year since we've gotten out there. I try to get out there, not really expecting anything, but we gained new members at the county convention, at the state convention, and people just, emailing and inquiring and asking more questions. How can I get involved? And, I think it's after, testifying at the legislature and people just wanting to know more. And we've gotten a couple of young people, we need to mentor the next generation. I think that's so important to keep the momentum and preserve our liberty and freedom through our voices.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say, being involved myself as well, that, you do a good job of being inclusive and being fair. And I think that is, people follow what is led to them as well. And it's just a great avenue, not a lot of pressure. And I just like the different avenues and the options that is allowed the women and even the associates to when they feel very intimidated by the party directly, that there's another avenue there. It's not just like, okay, well, I don't have anything else other than the Republican Party to join. I think it's a great option to have.
Right,
So,
right. I agree.
yeah.
And, partnering, again, locking arms with the party. We are definite supporters of the Hawaii Republican Party. Those are our fellow, patriots and conservatives. And the only way to go is forward and upward, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, before we go ahead and bring Teri on, we'll go and we'll take a quick break with our sponsor. But before we go, I just wanted to know real quick, how involved does the Federation get involved with the candidates?
It's really up to the clubs and the individual members. We encourage that. And what I'm learning in preparation for the national convention is there are recognition awards. And I don't want to say we're doing the community service to get the award, but it's one way to highlight our state, to put our state on the map at a national convention. Some of the presidential candidates are going to be attending the National Federation of Republican Women convention this coming fall at the end of September, beginning of October. And it's going to be very exciting. And I think to get that recognition, get Hawaii on the map and say, boy, these women have put in so many hours campaigning either for themselves or for other candidates. We had an opportunity to submit, the time that we've committed to campaigns that we've done in 2022 and 2023, even holding our annual luncheon, which is coming up in November. They count that too as a project. So there are so many, like I said, avenues, and that's a great point. So many ways that you can serve the community right where you're at. And every community is different and unique.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to bringing Teri on because I know she's also a member as well as being one of the vice chairs of the Hawaii Republican Party. So before we bring her on, we'll take a moment to hear from our sponsor, Be Nourished. Folks, I have to tell you, this is, of course they're a sponsor, but I have tried their product and it's an amazing product. And so if you have an opportunity to support them, please do. So Be Nourished.
Honey. It's one of the greatest gifts to man. With millions of wildflowers in every bottle, the nourishing power of honey is still yet to be fully discovered. Be Nourished Healing Products combines healing ingredients from around the planet to the purest honey from the island of Maui to bring magic to your taste buds. The best honey from the most beautiful place to nourish your body, mind, and soul. From our hearts to yours, be nourished.
All right. Thank you for Being Nourished, for being a great sponsor to the Liberty Arise Media platform and Redtime Stories. Now, don't forget, if you purchase any products from them, don't forget to enter Liberty at checkout and receive 22% off. So I'm going to bring Jamie Detwiler back on and Teri, and we're going to continue our conversation. Hi, Teri.
Aloha.
Yay, she wore the red shirt too. We the people.
Yep. And I got my Be Nourished products came in, so I love
Oh,
it.
oh,
It's like
yeah,
amazing honey. You guys got to try it for
yeah.
real.
An extra bonus shout out. That's
Yes,
awesome, Teri.
ma'am.
So, um, you're also involved with the federation as well. How has your experience been with this organization so far?
I went to my first meeting and it was positive. A lot of women showed up. Everyone's input, talking. It's not a bunch of snobs, high nose, high makamaka. Nope, not at all. We all
Mm-hmm.
mingle, we talk, collaborate. Um, it's very functional, their organization, and so I'm happy to be a proud member under Mary Smart's group. Jamie
Mm-hmm.
inspired me to sign up because of her message, her knowledge. I've seen her at the Capitol. I've actually been there at the Capitol when she was testifying, and I was like, I want to be like her when I grow up.
That's a huge compliment, Jamie.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so both of you ladies, are wonderful ladies and inspirations. I mean, Teri, already you're making an impact because people are picking up on your statement when you were running for the vice chair seat. You kept expressing locking arms, and people really took that to heart. And Jamie, she said it several times while sitting here. I mean, how does that make you feel to have other people sharing that slogan, so to speak?
It's invigorating, not because it's something that I've said, but the fact that people, remember that in my message, they were paying attention, they want change, because if not, that then it wouldn't. I mean, even Tim Dollhouse used it often, and it's a catchy phrase, but it's not just a phrase, it's something that I mean, and people actually heard it and they're running with it too. And so I know people want change, and that's what's important.
Yeah, they definitely want change. They want positive change, and of course, we want to go ahead and, talk a little bit about the, no pun intended, the elephant in the room. How are people handling the current situation with the short term that Tim Dollhouse has had? How are things going with that?
Well, we ain't looking back, that's for sure. We're marching forward. Imua kako, we're gonna move forward. Yes, we're gonna learn from what happened in the past, but we're not gonna be at a stalemate and be like, oh, boo hoo hoo. No, let's go, lock arms, move forward, and we got business to do. We got things to take care of. We can't just stand around stagnant and whining and crying about it. We got to take action, and the time is now.
Well, the thing that I noticed is that people are starting to pull together. Even Jamie is participating. And right away, I mean, everybody was like, oh, you know what? Let's not let the chair hold us back. And already there's 2 events already planned on Oahu to help catch up, because it's no secret there are some issues that people are looking into, but people seem to be pulling together. Jamie, you were willing to come up and get involved to help the success of the party with helping these go through. What's your input on this?
Well, as I said earlier, we really need, I mean, I'm not saying that, just because I'm not tired of it. We need to lock arms and come together. And I do want to say that I respect the time that Chair Tim Dollhouse served. He really tried his best to bring us all together. And I respect him so much. And I know the rest of us here and the executive committee, I've heard them speak highly of him, that, you know, he had a challenging job to do. And I respect the time and his effort and his own personal resources that he put into the party. He was very committed to moving us forward. And I just want to take the time to acknowledge him for that. But having said that, you know, I believe Lohi and the executive committee, they're working very hard. I know, I don't believe, I know they're working very hard and to pull things together. And that's really what it's all about, is, you know, just hui, you know, as Lohi would say, hui together. That means let's pull us together, kokua, and get us moving forward. Like I said, we all have differences of opinions. We all see things differently, but let's find a common thing that we can come together on. You know, imagine this imaginary platform. And there's a whole list of things that you want, Tamara, that Teri wants, that Lohi wants, that, you know, Taylor or whomever. Let's find common ground where we can start. And I think that common ground is uniting together. And I like what you said, Tamara, about that. We stand united. And we really need to do that, put our differences aside and move the party forward, because people are depending on our organization to move the conservative voices forward, to have our conservative voices heard. And so we need to, you know, I need to put my pride down and say, you know, what's it going to take for us, you know, as an organization to come together and partner with the Hawaii Republican Party to let our conservative voices be heard, right?
Right. I do like also Lohi has his slogan too, and I just think it you know, it's all sends a message. His is just enough already, which is so true, because enough already, so we can lock arms and then we can stand united, because really it is enough already to see that, you know, I use this analogy all the time. It's like we're cannibalizing each other like crabs in the bucket. And if we have the same goal, we have to stop. We have to set our prides aside and our egos. And I know it's harder for some people than others, but maybe we need to kind of go out of our comfort zone and sharing that olive branch. And we have to stop, because I think people forget that when you get caught in this bubble, you forget about what the ultimate goal is, because we have a huge platform that's known globally. And we have the opportunity to use this tool and this platform to influence and change lives. And the more infighting or sabotaging that goes on, it totally affects, it's not just the party, it's also the people and the lives that we can influence. Because if we strengthen our party and we strengthen our platform, we have a huge problem with human trafficking. But if we can get our butts in gear and come together and forget about who likes who and you know, and lawsuits and all this other stuff, we can help those children who are being sexually abused, molested, trafficked, the people who are being forced out of Hawaii, the homeless, you know, our sustainability, the Jones Act. These are all topics that we are being hindered from accomplishing and addressing. And I know that we have a lot of talented people in the party. We just have to stop, and we have to be more selfless in coming together and just partnering with our coalitions to build the strength and the foundation of our party. I truly believe that. So I'm hoping that we can make progress with that. And I think it's possible, because in such a short amount of time, like Teri, there's 2 events that are coming up. You know, why don't you talk about the 2 immediate events that are coming up? And this is only the beginning, but it's just exciting that there's 2 things that are coming up with the party.
Yes, so the first one is a county event that's happening this Saturday in Mililani. It's a painting party with refreshments, you know, light food, you know, not heavy. It's $30, and 30 people is the maximum the room can fit. But this is a way for us to, have fun, mingle, get to know each other, especially strengthening the districts and the precincts, in everybody getting to know each other, what's working in their district or precinct, and just build that camaraderie, because it's too long that we've been in the rut. We've had changes in chair after chair, and just not for ready. We need to have fun, move the party forward, and just do it together.
Right.
Second event is August 19th. And that event is statehood, but also, to bring everybody together. Not just about making money, but bringing the people together, mingle, talk story, listen to speakers from, the mainland, Honolulu. And the event was named HRP Revive and Thrive fundraiser. And I like that because, pretty much we all need to have CPR right now, and waking up and saying, hey, it's time. We got to stand now. Let's help the party. Let's help the people. It's not just about being a Republican, but being a Republican who gets out there in the community, not just being, oh, I'm going to take care of myself. And, no, you have a kuleana to the people of Hawaii, to the community. Like, there's so much. It's not just about you and I. There's more than you and I. And so, this fundraiser in August could really catapult us up there in having the funds to pay for a lot of those, bills that needs to be paid. Because at the end of the day, we need a place to call our own, whether it's at that headquarters or we move whatever is, decided down the line. If we sell the building, right now we have to take action. And the action is to just do a fundraiser. I mean, I was glad that I made that motion just this past Monday, and unanimously everyone was, yeah, like, let's do it. And so it was it was very humbling that everybody was like, yeah, we got to do something. And the do something was, let's do this fundraiser. And so there's so much people involved, Tamara. You drew this proposal out like very well, and I liked it, and I said, yeah, I can do this with you. And so again, locking arms and getting things done. That's the way it is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I see the urgency and the necessity, so that we can try and make some progress, so that we, because I know there's challenges ahead, and a new election for a new chair coming up. And Jamie, you stepped up right away and were willing to help with the August 19th event as well. So, how do you see this coming together? And do you see, a possibility for hope for the party after this?
I always have hope. Someone once told me a long time ago, you can't really take away someone's hope, and as a retired social worker, that's one thing we always give our clients, our patients, is, we encourage them, we give them hope. And in the same respect, as far as the party goes, yes, some people might be watching today and might be thinking, boy, what's going to happen to the party? I just want to encourage them and give them that ray of hope. There are people working behind the scenes to pull these fundraisers together. And like Teri just said, the reality is, like, for all of us in our own households, we have monthly bills to pay. Likewise, the headquarters has monthly bills to pay. And until, whatever unfolds in the future with the powers that be, with regards to the building, whether it stays or not, we don't know. We're just the worker bees behind the scenes, getting things together, coming together. People have said, okay, I'm gonna, work on the food, and okay, I'll work on the decor and the flowers. Okay, let's have a silent auction. I think that silent auction is going to be fun. There are going to be some great things up for silent auction. And it's just a way of people coming together, celebrating, our beautiful state. And that is why I do what I do. You asked earlier, tell us about yourself, a little bit about your background. Well, I'm Hawaii born and raised, many, many generations. And I'm passionate about literally saving our state. When somebody comes to me and is very down, and understandably so, right? I try to give them hope, and I said, how much do you love your home? How much do you, and not your house home, but your home state of Hawaii? How much do you love it? And that's why I do what I do. I fight for our home. All 4 of our children live on the mainland, and I could be sad about it, and I have my moments, but our children couldn't afford to live here and have their own lives, and I'm so proud of them. They all own their own homes now in 4 different states, and so I'm so very proud of them. But I don't want any future families having to move away because it's so costly to live here, and so much regulations that just take away our liberty and freedom. I can't say that enough. And I don't think I'll ever wear that out. Our liberty and freedom are just one step away from tyranny. And
yes,
I'm going to be fighting. I'm going to be here to the end. I told my kids, I love you very much. I'll come out and visit you as much as often. And we'll keep our home as home base when they come home and visit, because they do. But I'm going to stay and fight. And I'm going to fight to the very end to preserve our way of life, to preserve our culture, our multicultural ethnicity. And, my kids are, chop suey. They're all mixed, Hawaiian, Japanese, Chinese, Scotch, Irish, Dutch, and even our grandchildren are super mixed, So we're just so proud of that. And we want to just, preserve our lifestyle here and have a safe community to live in.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Some of the things that are coming through, we have minimal legislators in there. So really it's up to the people to share their voices and so forth. One of the things that recently came across the news is the digital currency thing. How do you ladies feel about that being put through there? Teri?
Not liking that at all. It's just another way of government control, and they can have controls in that they can lock what we purchase. It's this is America. You don't do that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And we gotta stand. This is the last hurrah. I really believe people need to wake up, stand up. I mean, I always say all of Hawaii stand together.
Absolutely. 100%. That central bank digital currency is not for liberty and freedom. It's totally against liberty and freedom. And, I'm so proud of Rita and the number of us who went and reached out to our district representative, our representative, it's the seat that I ran for against Ryan Yamane, and then the governor appointed the current representative. But we went to see her, and we told her that, all about central bank digital currency, and she honestly said she wasn't aware of it. The bill was 197 pages long. Who wants to read a 200-page bill, right? And really, it was copied from other state legislators. And I'm so proud that even though she's a Democrat, she voted to oppose it. We weren't on the winning side, though. But, I'm so proud of the women in our organization. Yes, Representative Trish La Chica is our current representative. And thank you, Rita. And she really took the time to meet with us. I think she spent about 45 minutes with us. I was in person in her office, and the rest of the team was on Zoom. And we were telling her that this is not good for the people of our district and the people of Hawaii. And I'm really proud of her that she took it to heart and she voted against it, the only Democrat that voted against it. But, still more to follow on that. And I'm glad that we played a part. The women of HFRW played a part in that.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, like I said, again, Rita's always on it. I'm always getting those emails of, she's very persistent, and it's great to have somebody there because people aren't, educated. They're just learning about, we've been really pushing people. If you want to see what's really going on within the parties or the candidates, and this is both sides, we're teaching them to look at the CSC reports and the FEC reports and Ballotpedia and really start paying attention. And it's super important this year because 2024 could be the last hurrah for us. So what do you ladies, what advice can you give the community to do about it? Teri?
Well, for me, it's, get involved with your district, with your precinct, get out there and support, your candidates from your district, sign waving, whatever time you can give, everything's volunteer. But if you can give a little time here and there, having more hands actually helps the cause. And also, just get out there and vote. There's so many registered Republicans and like they didn't vote, it's like, why? You're registered to vote, just get out there. Like, we gotta do this. And so what a lot of districts, because I'm also the county regional vice chair for Leeward, is growing the districts and the precincts in getting them well equipped with enough people to start canvassing, walking the district, cleaning up the GDC, which is the database, and just talking to the people to get them to, like, hey, we need your help. If you don't want to help, it's okay. We understand people are busy, but get out there and vote.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, maybe I could get you to delve a little bit more on that because there's a lot of things and people are worried about election integrity. Definitely, we got to get everybody out to vote. We need to beat the Democrats at their own game. And so just a real quick shout out to rethinkgop.org, where we're going to focus on the same game that the Democrats are playing. So we need to beat them at their own game. But what I wanted you to kind of address a little bit too, Jamie, is we need people to vote for. So how can you encourage people to, to get out there, put themselves on the line to stand up and help us, because basically we're fighting for our freedoms and our country.
Right. Yep. One resource is right here on this podcast, Teri. She is the vice chair of campaigns and training, right, Teri? Did I say that right?
Candidate recruitment and training.
Candidate recruitment and training. So Teri is one of your great resources for that. And as someone who ran for office too, that was a big learning curve for me as well. Really take advantage of, the learning resources. The State Campaign Spending Commission held a free training session for candidates last year during election season. And I attended that. And I think several of the candidates in our party attended that as well. The party themselves, they ran a candidate boot camp. That was excellent, supported by, Representative Lauren Matsumoto, as well as Lani Ka'a'a, and so many others took part in organizing that. And I also wanted to shout out to Leadership Institute. I have not attended their training sessions. I was gone on the mainland for the first one, and I will be attending the second one coming up here on Saturday. And I just think whatever you can gain knowledge, knowledge is power, right? If you're thinking about running, it took a lot of prayer for me, and I resisted and resisted. I'm so glad I ran, and I have a great team. I had such a great team that God brought these people to me, and they all had different gifts. I had somebody who was an accountant. I had somebody who was a graphic designer. I had these mama bears that just wanted to get out and pound the pavement with me, going door to door. So, I just want to really encourage anybody who's thinking of running for office to do so, and know that you're going to have the resources to support you in terms of educational resources, and there's going to be workshops on fundraising. How do you raise money for your campaign? What do you have to do? What does campaign spending commission say? There's so many rules to follow. And that was a big learning for me as well. But, we have some very helpful people on the end there, and just really want people to check out Leadership Institute as well.
Well, I know that Teri is also working on a training program that I think is going to be pretty helpful with all the candidates, with all the checks and balances, so that they have the confidence to start, especially those people who have never done it before, because I think that's a fear. Where do we open our bank account? What are the rules, the laws, deputy treasurers, campaign managers, and all that can be a little bit overwhelming. And I think that the program that Teri is going to be implemented is going to take a lot of the mystery out of getting started, and a great training program, because that's, I believe, what the Republican Party is supposed to do, is to be there to help train and get our candidates to be successful, and how to conduct themselves and handle conflict as well. So I think all these resources that are coming out, and the growth of HFRW and Leadership Institute and all these avenues, I think we have a better chance with strengthening the candidates. And so, well, we're almost running out of time, but Teri, don't go anywhere, Jamie, because I'd like you to make a closing statement as too. But Teri, those two events that are coming up, can you please tell people how they can find out about the events, or what they need to do, the dates, just the details, so we can get people to participate and lock arms with us?
Okay, so the first one is July 22nd, this Saturday in Mililani. It's you can buy your tickets through Eventbrite. Best way is give me a call. I'll put my number out there, 808-763-7432. 808-763-7432, so I can send you the link and the information and the flyer. And that way you can look it over, and you can actually just click on it and sign up and buy your ticket. That one is a painting party with light refreshments and some food. And the next event is August 19th. That one will be held at the HRP headquarters at 725 Kapiolani Boulevard. Sign-in is 5:30. We're going to run at 5:30 to 9:30. And we're going to have a lot of speakers, food. We're going to have pulled pork sandwiches. You can make Kalua pig nachos, Kalua pig tacos, lots of dessert. And that one also is an Eventbrite. You can buy your tickets. That one is $75 per person. Forgive me, the painting party is $30. And the August 19th is $75. But hey, it's buffet, all you can eat, get entertainment. And so come out, and let's lock arms, mingle, get the party started, put the P back in the party, and let's just do this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Teri. And Jamie, again, people, where can they go to join again? I created a link, so let me put that back up while you're talking as well.
Sure. They can visit hfrw.online. It's there on your screen to join the party, join the organization, join HFRW. We have members. Of course, it's a women's organization, but we welcome associate members, and we really value them. They bring balance, and many of them are spouses of our current members. So we just are so excited to be, working together, really locking arms together as organizations to really be the voice of the people in our community. And even if you have concerns, you don't know how to get involved, you're open to ideas, we'll find a place for you to serve. I can tell you, we need somebody that will help us upgrade our website. And we're looking for somebody to help us do that in the very near future. But it is operational. And I also want to say, back on that CBDC bill on the central bank digital currency, the other Democrat that voted to oppose it was Sam Kong. Sam Kong is a conservative, and we appreciate the work he does for the people of Hawaii as well. But, I just want to encourage everybody to come together. If you're interested in learning about testifying at the legislature, I'm going to be holding some Zoom training on that. Again, the public access room is really the best resource on that. They give you bullet by bullet, but what I would do when we conduct our Zoom training is just kind of shed, some of the personal insights and testimony that really catches legislators' ears, when, you're testifying on something, an issue that has impacted you or perhaps a family member. So, we just look forward to just moving the party forward and just being the voice of the people in Hawaii.
Absolutely. We don't have any time for armchair quarterbacks anymore. So, but I appreciate you ladies being on. It was, very informative. Thank you so much for sharing and sticking it in there and being an inspiration to keep people going and, and get the goal that we can get everybody together, like Teri says, and locking arms, because enough already, because we have to stand united. So with that being said, we should do this every couple of weeks so you guys can give an update of how things are going and needs and legislative bills that maybe we can address and how we can improve the party or get involved with our communities. It doesn't always have to be party related. It's just we need to be there for mankind and help each other in our communities, because sustainability is going to be really important, and it's not going to matter what party, what skin color, we're going to need each other. So thank you, ladies. I really appreciate your time. And I'm going to go ahead and give some closing remarks. And so I'll talk to you soon. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Redtime Stories. Please feel free to contact me at writeasred@pm.me. That's writeasred@pm.me for any questions or content ideas, or maybe you have a video that you'd like to share and we'll put it on there for you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you tune in every Thursday at 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on the Liberty Rise media platform, either on Rumble, YouTube, Red Pill, Twitter, and Facebook. You can reach out to me again. I just want to say one more time and spell it out, RIGHTASRED@pm.me. And I'll look forward to hearing from you next week. Please tune in. We have a special guest from Nevada and possibly the Big Island. We're looking to confirm a possible guest that's going to talk to us about human trafficking, which is a hot topic. And so just stay tuned and we'll confirm that schedule with you. Again, mahalo for joining us. And remember, the truth has no fear.